In a serene meadow, colours danced in the sunlight as wildflowers swayed gently with the breeze. It was a magical place where the bees hummed a merry tune and butterflies fluttered like living gems. Among the tiny creatures that called this place home was a ladybug named Lila. She was small and spotted, with bright red wings that sparkled in the sun. Lila often felt tiny compared to the tall sunflowers and the bustling bees, but her heart was big and full of dreams. Lila, look at the bees gathering pollen. They're so busy and important, observed Benny, a friendly grasshopper who loved to hop about among the flowers. I see them, Benny, Lila replied with a sigh. I wish I could do something important too. Benny chuckled softly. You've got your own special things to do, Lila. You'll see. One gentle morning, as Lila was resting under a daisy, the sky darkened with an unusual shadow. Curious, Lila peeked around the petal only to see a group of insects marching into the meadow. They were smaller than the towering bees, but moved with a different kind of menace. These were the aphids, and leading them was General Gruff, the most feared among them. Listen here, small ones, General Gruff's voice boomed over the meadow. This will be our new home, and we'll feast to our heart's delight. The meadow whispered with worry, the bees buzzed about nervously, and the butterflies fluttered urgently. What shall we do? They murmured among themselves. Deep within her heart, Lila felt a spark. She knew she could help, but how? As the bigger insects gathered to discuss plans, Lila quietly listened. But the discussions turned to arguments, and no one noticed Lila's tiny voice offering an idea. They're not paying attention, she said to herself, frowning ever so slightly. But then, a thought brightened her face. I will find a way, she decided with determination. As night fell, the meadow hushed in uneasy sleep. However, under the glittering stars, Lila stayed awake, her little mind spinning with possibilities. I know every nook and cranny of this place, she whispered, looking out across her beloved meadow. There must be something I can do. Suddenly, Lila had an idea. From her many explorations, she knew of a group of strong ants on the far side of the field. Perhaps they could help. Her heart fluttered with a mix of excitement and fear. Could a small ladybug like her convince them? Benny, noticing her restless flight, hopped over gently. Are you planning something, Lila? Yes, Benny, replied Lila, wings twitching with anticipation. I have a plan, but I'll need to be brave. Benny nodded, his eyes kind and encouraging. I believe in you, Lila. You're small, but you have a big heart. With newfound courage, Lila set off into the night, determined to find the ants and plead for their help. She darted through shadows and past sleeping aphids, her wings buzzing quietly in the moonlit air. Would her daring idea work? Only time would tell. The moon hung high, lighting Lila's path as she scuttled through the meadow's winding trails. Though the night was quiet, her heart raced with every step. Soon she reached the ant mound, its entrance guarded by diligent ants who watched her approach curiously. Halt! Called an ant with a stern gaze. What brings you here at this hour, little ladybug? Lila took a deep breath, steadying her voice. I am Lila, and I come with an urgent request. Our meadow is in danger. A band of aphids plans to take over, and we need your help. The ant considered her for a moment, then relayed Lila's message to the queen inside. Moments later, Lila was ushered into the heart of the mound, where the wise and regal Queen Anther listened intently to her tale. We are strong, but the aphids are many, Lila explained, her voice trembling only slightly with the weight of her words. "With your strength and our knowledge of the meadow, we can drive them away." Queen Anta nodded slowly. "You are brave to come here alone, little one. Your courage and loyalty to your home are commendable. We shall help you." Tears of relief glistened in Lila's eyes. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Together, we can protect our meadow." With the ants ready to aid them, Lila hurried back to rally her fellow ladybugs. They gathered quietly, each of them listening to Lila's plan. "We will lead our ant friends through the hidden paths," Lila told them confidently. "The aphids won't see us coming." The night air crackled with anticipation, and the ladybugs swiftly took flight, guiding the ants along secret trails that only they knew. As dawn began to break, colours returned to the meadow, revealing a hopeful day. The ants, led by Lila, quickly surrounded the aphids, catching them by surprise. General Gruff's face twisted in shock as he found himself surrounded. Seeing the strong allied force, the aphids hesitated, their confidence waning. The combined might of the ants and the cleverness of the ladybugs proved overwhelming, and soon the aphids retreated, scurrying away from the meadow. Lila, her heart full and bright, watched as the meadow awoke with joy and newfound peace. All around her, creatures sang praises, their worries banished by the bravery of one small ladybug. As sunlight bathed the meadow in a warm embrace, the creatures gathered under the vibrant canopy of flowers. Lila found herself surrounded by friends old and new, each expressing their gratitude. "Lila, you did it!" cheered Benny, bouncing with delight. "You saved the meadow!" Blushing under her red shell, Lila smiled bashfully. "I couldn't have done it without the ants. We all work together." Queen Anta stepped forward, her presence commanding yet kind. "Indeed, Lila courageously guided us and helped devise a plan none could foresee. Your courage made a difference this day." All around, the insects buzzed, hummed, and chirped in agreement, their voices joining in a harmonious symphony of joy. General Gruff, now humbled, approached Lila with a newfound respect. "I underestimated you, little ladybug. You have shown that true strength doesn't come from size, but from the heart." Lila looked up at him, her eyes gleaming. "We all learned something today, General Gruff. The smallest among us can do great things when we work together." The meadow flourished that day, the flowers blooming brighter, and the air filled with a fresh, hopeful fragrance. Every creature, big and small, felt a deeper bond, knowing their home was secure thanks to the brave little ladybug who dared to dream. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of pink and gold, Lila returned to her favourite spot under the daisies. She gazed at the stars beginning to twinkle above and whispered into the gentle night breeze. "Thank you, world, for believing in me when I needed it most." And so, in that tranquil meadow, surrounded by friends who had become family, Lila found her place. Though small in stature, her heart shone like the brightest star, illuminating the world around her with warmth and hope. The meadow felt forever safer, its vibrant life encouraged by the smallest yet mightiest of its inhabitants. Thus, in peace and harmony, life continued to blossom under her watchful care.
If you enjoyed this story, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content.